All right, you beautiful souls, how are you today? Aaron Michael Eschenburg here, bringing you your daily horoscope for the 1st of December, 2019. I cannot even believe it's the last month of the year. My birthday's in 29 days. What do you get me? No, I'm kidding. All right, it's the 1st of December. We've got a lot of energy going on, all right? We've been dealing with our shadow for a while now, since the mid-September. Venus was the first one of our personal planets to go through. Mercury as well. It started a retrograde period. Mercury's still working through the shadow in Scorpio right now. Mars is home in Scorpio right now, creating a sextile over to Venus, which is in Capricorn, releasing old emotions. Mars is creating a septile to Jupiter in its very last 2 days in Sagittarius, home. And then the moon and the sun are creating what we call the finger of God, pointing down to the north node, okay? The finger of God, a yod, is a sextile, which is a harmony between two different signs, fire and air in this particular case, and two quincunxes down to, let me just show you what it's all about here, all right? A lot of good energy going on this Sunday. Gifts from the universe, all right? So, all right, we're talking about this yod here. So the moon here at 10 degrees, the sun here at 9 degrees, okay? So this is going to happen early in the morning and a little bit into the afternoon before the energy kind of whisks away. So we see the septile, or the sextile, excuse me, dotted line, it's back there. It's kind of buried, but, you know, it's 60 degrees apart. 60 degrees, whereas septile is 51, about 51 degrees, okay? This is a very different energy. We'll get back into that in a second. So this sextile here, creative energy between two different signs. So we have fire here, our faith, right? Faith in ourselves and our journey, absorbing new knowledge, okay? And then over here, this is Aquarius, the director of the show, air sign. Okay, so Aquarius is the director. It sees a vision for the future. It's like emotionally, we're getting a glimpse into the future of where we're going to be headed. Okay, and then we follow these quincunxes down here, that green line. Okay, that's 5/12 aspect of the zodiac. Sun, green line down, 5/12 aspect of the zodiac. Okay, both pointing down to the north node. Okay. Very, very powerful, because what this is telling us is, something I've been saying for the past year since I've been doing this show, is we have to be nurturing to ourselves. We have to be caring to ourselves and to others. It's very, very important right now that we, almost wear our heart on our sleeves without the armor. It's like in the sense of survival. Okay, it's important to be one step ahead. That have we planned it out? Have we thought about it? Have we, considered what could happen, what could go wrong? And a lot of times we do that. And we do that from experience, because of what we have experienced, right? The things that we've been through in the past lead us to say, well, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to be so trusting. I'm never going to be so open. I'm never going to whatever. So we build up our armor, okay? And sometimes we just don't know when to set that armor down, when to take it off. There's a time and a place for it. Again, in the sense of survival mode, it's very good to think ahead, to be prepared for these things. But in the sense of life in general, we start closing a lot of doors. This is the sign of me closing doors. That's how I close doors. So the survival mode is not essential for us to be open and to be willing and allowing to accept whatever is coming around the bend, to be free, to be flowing like the feather in the wind. It's very important, and that's what this Sagittarius season is showing us. Jupiter has been there for a year, but it was hard because we had a lot to learn. And the Scorpio season was very, very intense, and it's still continuing, because we have to dig this stuff up. Every time we're pointing and saying, you did this, and you did this, and you did this, we've got three fingers pointing right back at us. And a good practice is to do during this Scorpio, it's not Scorpio season anymore, but there's still a lot of Scorpio energy, so there's still a lot of shadow work energy that's going to be done right now. And Mars is creating a septile to Jupiter for its last 2 days here in the sign of Sagittarius. So, something good to do is trying to put all this together to make sense. You know, this yod that's happening, we have Mars creating the septile to Jupiter, okay? This is, again, blessings from above, blessings from the universe. The sun here is like, we're receiving the reward for doing the shadow work today, okay? And emotionally, we're getting a glimpse into the future of what things could be. We have to have a vision of what things could be and embody it, then to receive it, okay? And in order to do that, we have to be open and willing to receive those. We have to be nurturing and caring to ourselves. Very, very important. Okay, and then we also see here, there's a lot of Mars energy. Mars is squaring the moon, okay? So it's important to not be stuck. This is a fixed sign. This is a fixed sign. To not be stuck in the past, not to be stuck on a power trip, right? This is about power. This is the veil underneath. This is the mystery. We all have a desire that's driving us forward that we don't, it's not a telltale, okay? That's the part of the sign of Scorpio. So this square here is just like tension and balance between being stuck in the past and survival mode. Like, yeah, again, you're wearing your armor might help you on the battlefield. It's not going to help you when you're going to yoga. Your armor is not going to help you when you sit down to meditate, So, all right. So then we have this sextile happening as well to Mars and to Venus. All right. Really, really, really powerful. Masculine and feminine energy, and we are both masculine and feminine, divine masculine, embodied in all of us, right? And so what's happening here is Venus inching closer and closer to the south node. We don't see it. It's at 9 degrees. So every day we're getting closer and closer, and it's going to happen exact on Tuesday to release. And it's just like that emotional armor that we built up, and it's just like we have to take this stuff off. We have to drop it and let it go. So a good, something good that we can practice is to receive the rewards of that's what the sun wants right now. That's what Jupiter wants, is to receive these rewards for us doing the shadow work, because we should be able to look in the mirror right now and be happy with ourselves. To look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you, to look in the mirror and say yes to self, yes to life, yes to our attitude, yes to our health, yes, right? And if we are not saying yes to ourselves, if we are not saying yes that I'm happy, that I'm living my fullest, what is it? What's going on underneath the surface that we're not happy with? And we have to address this stuff. We cannot escape it. No one can escape the shadow, right? It doesn't matter if you're, I'm gonna go on vacation to get away from myself right now, to get away from these problems, to get away from these things. It's a temporary fix. It's a Band-Aid on a broken bone. It's not going to serve you in the long run to live the sustainable life on where you are happy with yourself, where we're happy with ourselves, right? So if we're looking in the mirror and we're not, smiling and saying yes to life, it's what is going on beneath the surface that I need to fix, because it is me. And again, if we're blaming other people, those fingers are pointing right back at us, saying, no, it was you, Aaron. It was you that did this. It was me. It was me. It's taken years for me to accept that, to allow and accept that for myself. That's like, wow, I hated who I was 4 years ago, confused, lost, driven by ego, come a long way, and it's just like still lots and lots of learning. So if we're dealing with, writing something down and saying like, okay, this person did this, and why am I hurt, or why can I not be the person that I'm dreaming of being? Again, Mars, moon, emotionally, in the sign of Aquarius, again, is seeing the future before where physical embodiment enters it. Okay, it's seeing the vision of creating, the theme park when it's just flat ground. It's seeing what the house flip is going to be when it was purchased as a rundown fixer-upper. You know what I'm saying? So, what is going on with us that we need to fix? And if it's other people. Here's a fun thing to do on the Sunday Fun Day, writing down this, and this person did this, and this person did this to me, and this is why I'm hurt, and this is this, and this is this. And at the very end, when you're done and you create your list, you can look at it and then scribble out the person's name that you wrote on all of them, and then write I, and reread it. and then dry your eyes and reread it and breathe. You know, because this is the steps that we need to take for our own personal abundance, for our own expansion, for our own joy of working through the shadow period. Okay, because Mercury is still working through the shadow until the 9th of December. But Mars will still be working in Scorpio for much further after that. So let me come back here and just show you more of the chart. All right, so Mercury's at 19 degrees. So when it started, Mercury was right about here at 27 degrees. 27 degrees and some space minute change, right? Then it moved all the way back to 13 degrees, okay? So we consider that period between 27 and 13, wherever the retrograde was, that's the shadow. Okay, so Mercury is still working through the shadow. That means this is three times that we've had to get this information into our thick skulls, you know? So it's like we visited it and we're like, yeah, okay. And then it went back, we revisited again, yeah, okay. You know, and then now this is the third and final time that we're experiencing all this. And again, not till December 9th are we out of the shadow period. Very, very important. So let's come here to Mars, because Mars is our planet of action, okay, squaring the moon. Not to be stuck wearing our armor, understanding and when to take our armor off and put it down. The moon here, septile, okay, this is the universe, fate, connection to the universe. Down here to Chiron, the wounded healer, healing ourself, healing our primal instincts, okay? And then, so there's a lot of energy between Mars and Chiron going on right now. You see there's all these lines spitting out, okay? That quintile happening here to Saturn, to Pluto, okay? This is a creative energy for us to change. And how we change is going to affect us on a daily level, on our daily lives, on our discipline, on who we are as human beings and who we are looking at in our own reflection in the mirror, okay? Now Mars is starting to create that quintile over here to Saturn. Very, very powerful aspect. Mars creating the sextile. So, you know, okay, let me come back here. You know, the Mars quintile, this is like, look, you know, can we get up in the morning and meditate? You know, let me come back here while I'm talking about this. Because Saturn wants you to say, I don't care. Saturn doesn't care. Saturn's not about emotions. Saturn doesn't care. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person. If you fall off of a building, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you were the Pope, if you were a guru, a holy man, you know, gravity's going to take over, and there's cause and effect. There's the laws of physical reality. You know, Mars is our planet of action, again, saying emotionally. There's deeper rooted emotions, passions that are driving me and who I am and who I want to be and who I'm becoming. And Saturn's like, look, you need to buckle down and make this stuff happen. And this is a creative energy between these two planets, a planet of action and a planet of law, physical law in this world, saying, you know, if you want to be the person that you look in the mirror and say, I'm glad I did that hard work. It was hard, but I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I moved through this, you know? Then it's just like, I don't care. We give ourselves so many excuses. Oh, I don't have time to do yoga. I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to cook. I don't have time. Yeah, we do. It's about priorities. You know, it's about priorities. It's all about priorities. And Saturn's like, look, if you want this on one end, you have to do this on the other end. Period. You know, if we want, you know, this successful life, we have to do the work. If we want to be successful, you know, at having the performance, we have to have the rehearsal, like we talked about yesterday. And if we're going to have a successful band rehearsal, we have to practice on our own time. Really, 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 really key right now, right? We have to spend time practicing life, practicing breathing, practicing being patient, like we talked about on Saturday. You know, and with all of this leads to our personal expansion. And coming back to that, you know, that yod, the sun at 9 degrees, this is like the goddess bestowing the gifts upon us. This is just such beautiful energy here between the sun and Jupiter still here. And, we've got all the way till the 21st, before the sun moves out. Okay, so we've got another 20 days of the sun in expansion, blessing us, giving us more knowledge to be able to heal. Okay, more knowledge that leads to our expansion. As you see here, that little red line going on from Neptune, our unconscious mind, to our conscious mind. There's knowledge. There's knowledge that can lead to our personal freedom, not bound by these physicalities that we're stuck in. This physical heavy weight that we're dealing with. Letting it go, says Venus, So this is all moving up to what's going to happen on Monday and Tuesday. Jupiter enters Capricorn. Venus is going to connect with the South Node, emotional release. So right now we get this really beautiful connection. We get connecting again with our nurturing, caring, empathetic self. We have to be empathetic. When we realize, that it's not the other person, that it's ourselves, to be nurturing to ourselves, okay? And driving forward, moving that air, moving the emotional body, not being stuck, okay? And these two, just creating with knowledge and a vision for the future, driven by our compassionate hearts. This is what wins the day. All right. And again, the moon being in the sign of Aquarius, it is very, very sociable, which means the joy of other people. It's like Friendsgiving kind of a day. So if we already did all the Thanksgiving stuff with the family, this is like the Sunday where you get together with your friends, your close ones, and you get to share that knowledge with one another and build each other up, empower each other, and then let the gifts come down. Ah. There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot of energy going on, and it's not stopping. It's like we got, again, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. I think we talked about enough today. So thank you, as always, for hanging out with me. Have a very joyous day, connecting with our compassionate heart, learning more information, having a vision for the future. It's a beautiful Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow.